Hey everyone, this is Prince Watercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Wario Land 2 for the Game Boy. In the last video, we completed our fifth and final side story, but we're still not done yet. Instead, we have one more treasure that we need to get, astoundingly, and a game. What's with this game? Flagman Didi. One play, 100 coins. Well, we can exit, we can get help, or we can play. What does help do? So, this is based on Flag, one of the old Game & Watch games. Kind of interesting that Nintendo threw this into Wario Land 2 because Game & Watch Gallery for the Game Boy was very popular as a kid, and I played that a lot way back when, and I definitely remember seeing it in Nintendo Power. And I believe that Game & Watch Gallery 2 was either on the Game Boy Color or was on its way. I want to think it was already on the Game Boy Color when Wario Land 2 had come out. So, that's why this is on here. So, DD raises a flag, and you have to press the corresponding button for that number. Up for 1, right for 2, down for 3, left for 4. Eventually, you'll have a little blob that shows up for 5, and another enemy to show up for 6, though you have to survive long enough to get 5 and then survive long enough after that to get 6. And I might as well go ahead and spend the 100 coins to play this and see what happens. I'll do my best with this. I'm not really going to be a master with this. So, it's a memory game. Your score is in the upper right. The number of times you've missed up to 3 will be in the upper left, and there's a timer all the way on the left. It's easy at first, but it gets harder as things go on. Okay, I remember the 9th one. And you now have 5. And it was 4. I don't know why I pressed 3. Yeah, I'm not going to remember this. Okay, maybe I will. All right. How am I remembering these? There we go. Well, at least we managed to get 5 and 6 to pop up. So there is that. And I apologize for that massive amount of silence because I really wanted to concentrate on that. Also, you get a nice little Game & Watch border when you actually play this game, which is pretty nice. Anyway, now that we spent more than enough time playing Flagman DD, which we've unlocked for finding everything in the game, up until the really final chapter, let's go ahead and play the really final chapter. The really final chapter. Time Attack steals this syrup's treasure. So we're going to be in a really weird area for this, and to start, we're going to tackle our way down here, I believe. We do want to go somewhere, and that somewhere is pretty close to this door, but that's not exactly where we'll be going. Instead, we'll be nearly running into a snowman and getting frozen because of it. And then we'll go through this door. Now this area, last area had ears on the walls. Now we're going to have mouths. And the mouths will be spouting out these weird waterfalls. I don't want you doing that. And you just want to time everything so that way you can jump over that really easily. And that. And then you want to hold up while you're near that edge so that way you can make that jump. And then you got to do that again, this time with this flying skull going in reverse. And then you got to do another 2 wraparound jumps. And there's a trick to this. You got to position yourself so it looks like Wario is standing in the middle of the air. And if you do that right, you can do the wraparound jumps a little bit more easily. And now we can tackle our way up here and get to this door. Now we need to take this enemy with us. And we need to carry it to a certain point. Alright. We need to let the enemy do its thing. And then we'll jump on it again. And then we'll throw it over here. Now once he gets back up, we need to do what we did the first time. And then do it again. And we're going to follow the enemy right here. But we don't want to defeat the enemy yet. Instead, we need to knock out the enemy one more time. And we need to throw the enemy into those enemy block so that way we can get into this door. Now this part, we need to throw a goon on this floor on the wall right here. And then we need to keep holding A as we keep jumping off the left side of the goon while the goon is upside down. Now we need to repeat the process, only now, 1, we need the goon to come back now that I've thrown it the way that I have. And 2, we need to jump on the right side of it. So that way, we can easily get to the door here. Now for this part. We need to use the trick from before. It needs to look like Wario is almost standing on the air. If you're doing it right, if you can stand on the edge, you'll be able to do that pretty easily. And now we need to jump, so that way we get the bird's attention. And then we can do that. Except, I messed that up. I fouled that up. And I do not like these jumps very much. Well, I do like these jumps. We've done these before. But the third one is a pain. Just because you have to get on the platform correctly just to be able to do it. And then we need to do some tackle jumps to get to this door once we reach the top. Now, we need to crouch during these tackles in order to get over here. And then we need to do a crouch jump right here. Do another slide. Keep on sliding. We need to not do that. Are you serious? There we go. And we need to keep jumping. Stop it! I need to get through. We need to keep jumping at the right time while tackling in order to get past these spikes, and that's no easy task. I need to get through, game. Thank you. You have to be pretty close to, do that. Now we need a big rock to hit us. And we need to avoid the water. And we need to hold up as we jump our way up here. And we need to hold up as we keep jumping to the right while we are flat. So that way you can get to this door. And I messed that up. So here's what you need to do. In case you get stuck, you can just take the door down at the bottom and make your way back up to the door. You need to alternate between the left and right sides of the giant spearman as you keep ground pounding it. And that'll take care of the giant spearman. And I managed to beat that in 6.5 minutes. Which is 4 minutes faster than my practice run. And, oh dear. Some of the stuff I can get. Some of the stuff pretty easy to figure out. But the wraparound jumps, which you were never doing until now, I'm surprised I figured it out as fast as I did. As quickly as I did. But it's still really annoying. Some of the stuff we did in the time trial, we've done before in the main game. And the side stories. But some of the stuff that we're doing such as the wall jumps. Not the wall jumps, but the wraparound jumps. You were never doing that at any point in the game up until now. So I don't know why the game expects you to just be able to do it just quickly as soon as you're beating the game, because you weren't doing much in the way of that anywhere else in the game as far as I'm concerned. At least they only did one section with the flying skull spikes, and they kept that brief, as difficult as it was. Anyway, we have now completed the time trial, and with that, we have finally completed Wario Land 2. And we get to see the credits one final time. That is it. We are finally done with Wario Land 2. I mentioned my thoughts on the game, I believe, when I completed the game for the first time. It mostly stands. Graphics are pretty good. I like the sound and the music. Definitely took some inspiration from the first game. I do like the gameplay. I like the idea of not being able to die and the enemies giving you abilities with their attacks. Plus the game plays pretty well too. At least with the Wario games, Nintendo were not afraid to try certain things and innovate and try to make things that made sense. And there's plenty to see in the game, even though once you get 100% and play the really final chapter, there's not much else to do. But having Flagman DD as an unlockable game that you can play whenever you need to is a nice touch. And there's always the time trial, which I don't really feel like playing again after that due to all of the wraparound jumps and the game wanting you to be quick on that part when, again, there hasn't been much concerning wraparound jumps that you had to do in the game up until that point. The other stuff I do understand, even the flying spiked skull part, where you're on the dressers and everything has to be timed right, and therefore you have to back off and then move forward once the spiked flying skull is moving in a specific direction at a certain point. And wow, we're being chased by a giant spear guy now that we've stolen Syrup's treasure. Fun! But we have made it to the castle, and I doubt that giant spearman is going to give us much trouble. Speaking of which, I find it amazing that they actually made it so that the last time you fight the giant spearman is the one time where you're really going to have any difficulty with it. And unless you actually remember how jumping off enemies works, you're not going to know that you're going to have to ground pound off the left side and the right side and the left side and the right side and keep alternating between both sides of the giant spearman with your ground pounds in order to not lose him and fall into the spikes, fall down the door, be forced to go back up and start the whole thing all over again. And apparently the giant spearman is in the castle with us. Weird. Maybe because we stole the treasure and he's been told to guard it no matter what. Well, he has it now. I guess I'll go guard it at his castle. And 647. I got a star. I don't know if you get one regardless, but I did get a star. A gold one at that. And there's all our treasure. And there's our thing. And there is our... There it is. We have done it. We have beaten Wario Land 2. It's been a long one. This one has taken me several months to record and play through and figure out stuff with, and we have finally made it. And this has been one of my longest Let's Plays, and I'm just going to admit it now, I'm going to miss playing this. Just like with all of my other long ones. This was an incredible journey. And I want to do the other Wario Land games. I really want to figure out 3 because they innovate with that even further. You don't even have stages like you do in Wario Land 2 with Wario Land 3. You have one big overworld and you're just going from one place to another. Well, maybe not even that. Well, you do have a map screen and you do have places to go to. But it's not as linear as Wario Land 2 is. I guess. I don't know how best to explain Wario Land 3 except they go in a different direction compared to 2. And then there's Wario Land 4 for Game Boy Advance, and I've seen that, and then there are also all the other Wario games. I would like to play Wario Land 3 eventually. I don't know when I'll do that. But at the same time, never say never. And so, this has been Let's Play Wario Land 2 for the Game Boy. I hope you've enjoyed this as much as I did, maybe just a little bit more, and hopefully I'll be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad, maybe it'll be somewhere in between, who knows. Until then, this is Prince Watercress. Take care, stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see y'all later!